Hi everyone, it's Tera Maxwell, teramaxwell.com. I'm here at Playa Guiones. I just finished a couple hour surf session, and the thing that came up for me was this idea of resistance. Hola. And why you should celebrate it, and even in those places where you're feeling a lack of integrity. So, okay, personal note, for me, I was noticing over the past few months, things have been going awesome. We've doubled our business. There's been so much flow, so many blessings and synchronicities in our company and in my life. And what I noticed was that I had stopped my meditation practice. And not stopped it, because I still meditated, but not with the same consistency, like every single day. Usually I meditate like 1 to 2 hours a day, and it's really important because for the work that I do. Okay, for those of you that are here, I'm going to show you. It's amazing. There are some really big waves out today, and what I noticed. Okay, so I was looking back at that, and I'm sharing this because I think it'll make a difference for all of you. Is in the midst of all of this success and all this flow, I was stopping a practice that was like exponentially affects how I show up in my life. It affects my flow, like everything. And so if I take a step back, like why in the midst of all the success was I resisting that? And what came to me was this idea of actually celebrating, like noticing. I knew that I was on, even in the midst of all this flow, and I mean, there's just been so many blessings in a company and my relationship. We've had these major up levels, and I was sitting here resisting this next huge up level. And so my tendency, or this self-sabotage to not meditate, was resistance to a very, like a major up level. I actually can really feel it. I could feel it in my life, and I could feel it in our company. And so I'm sharing this because often we have resistance, and we don't have that self-compassion, and we judge ourselves, we criticize ourselves, and then we make up a story about ourselves. And if you can reframe it, because actually what came to me in meditation, because I did meditate yesterday, was that this resistance was actually a huge gift. It's a sign that if I stepped through this, if I chose just today to connect, to be humble, to look at whatever it is that I'm choosing not to do and step into it, that through that doorway is as abundance. It's whatever that thing is, that greatness in you, whatever it is in terms of your vision and what you're meant to do. When you take that resistance, instead celebrate it and see it as a sign that, wow, this must be really big. And I knew it was really big because it actually, I just noticed that I had used some like drama, relationship drama, and some things to distract myself in a way that I hadn't done before. And so I knew that it was really big. So I'm sharing this because often, instead of making up a story about yourself, and I see so many people really get hard on themselves. And then they just kind of stay in that loop. Instead, take your resistance and celebrate it. Celebrate it. And I say, like, why you should celebrate the lack of integrity. I'm not saying that to stay in that lack of integrity, but often when we're in that lack of integrity, it's because we're in resistance, which was in my case, because I know that everything that we do has to do with connecting to higher self. I know how important it is to meditate, and that it is really the key in everything that I teach in creating effortless affluence. And yet here I was resisting that. And so it's just owning, okay, where am I not being in integrity with whatever, whether it's your message, with what you know to be true, with what you know to work. When you're not in integrity with with your vision and who you are here to become. And it's not about, I hope you understand that what I'm sharing is that it's not about making yourself wrong. It's just noticing, okay, where am I not in alignment? Where am I lacking integrity? And actually celebrating it, because it's actually a good sign that it's when you adjust that your life will get so friggin' good. It's a really good sign. And I'm not suggesting that we stay in that lack of integrity, but just noticing it, being the observer, and then asking yourself. Like for me, what shifted it was actually sharing this publicly, so you all see where I've been in lack of integrity, and then the other thing was just in prayer, and just talking to higher self, and because the thing is that we don't have to be perfect. It's just in every moment. It's in every moment. In this moment, do I choose to surrender my will to divine will? In this moment, do you choose to surrender, to connect to your higher self? In each breath. And then we can screw up, or we go back into ego, but then just here, right now, all of you that are watching right now, or they're listening, it's just a choice. And so one of the things that I often do is I'll just say to myself, actually not to myself, not to my little self, I'll say to my higher self, I'm here. Higher self, I'm here. Higher self, I'm here. And often for me, it's how I reconnect to higher self, because I usually I drop in and I start to get that intuitive guidance. I hear that voice, that very subtle voice that tells me, take this next step, or just telling you that you're perfect, that you're loved. Even in this place of misalignment, you're loved and it's perfect, and just choose, just choose. So that's what I have to share today. I just got finished surfing, and I think the number one thing that I see so many of you, I talk to so many clients, and I've had thousands of hours on phone calls and hearing so many of your stories of your vision and what is standing in your way. And the thing that I notice the most about that really trips up a lot of people, and I'll share this, and you can see if this is you, is that you're just hard on yourself. You're just really hard on yourself, and you make a mistake, or you've been in business and maybe you didn't get the right. I'm gonna have to go here because the light is a little better. You make a mistake in business, or you've had different failures, and you stay in the story instead of just forgiving yourself and just feeling that love. And I think the one thing that really shifted for me and it's made a big difference in manifesting our dream life here in Costa Rica, it's just not being so hard on myself. I mean, I used to be really hard on myself. I'm naturally wired. I'm a Virgo. I'm kind of at that scholar energy, so I'm naturally wired as a critic. And often, we're harder on ourselves even than we are on looking at what other people need to fix or change. And so that habit really prevents us from manifesting our dream, because if we're just going to stay in that place of self-criticism. So it's just, I think that's what's so beautiful about, well, with energy work, releasing blocks, and just connecting to this moment. Because in this moment, we are perfect. In this moment, we get to choose. In this moment, we have each breath. So I hope that makes a difference for you. Sending you all so much love from here in Costa Rica. Pura vida.